Welcome back to News Central Now. Now, let's talk a business-related story. The Nigerian government has taken a significant step towards regulating the cryptocurrency industry with the Securities and Exchange Commission's decision to issue licenses for virtual asset providers. Now, this move aims to establish a framework for the safe and secure operation of cryptocurrency exchanges, addressing concerns around fraud, consumer protection, and market stability. As the regulatory landscape evolves, it is essential to examine the implications of this shift on the operational framework of cryptocurrency exchanges, the measure in place to prevent fraud and also to protect consumers. Now, to join us to discuss this, we're joined by the author, Crypto Investors Playbook, and online business consultant, Silas Umekwe. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. How's everything?
Very well. Quickly get into it. How would you say the Securities and Exchange Commission's decision to issue licenses for virtual asset providers, how do you think that would impact rather the operational framework of the cryptocurrency exchanges in Nigeria?
Okay, so this is actually one of the things I suggested in the first stakeholders meeting we had with CBN in 2017. I said the best way to regulate cryptocurrency in Nigeria would not be from the CBN, but rather from the SEC. And, one of the ways they could do it, or one of the impacts that it's going to have, is that it's going to bring some form of sanity into the system, because we would love to see some form of, regulatory oversight, some form of compliance with KYC requirements, cost of consumer protection as well, which is one of the major reasons, because it's actually very necessary. It's actually very necessary. And we would need some form of operational standards and provide some market stability in the system. So I think it's a step in the right direction.
Okay. Also talk about concerns with regards fraud. If you remember, of course, the Sam Bankman-Fried case in the United States, that one, is still being talked about till date. How important is this regulation now to protect consumers and, of course, protect people from fraud?
Okay, so you see, the issue with Sam Bankman-Fried's, fraud case was the fact that money that belonged to users or belonged to customers, he put his hand inside and was using it to have a field day, right? So this is one of the reasons where this is one of the reasons why we need this form of regulation. Because if there are regulations that are guiding, virtual asset providers, there will be enhanced transparency, and there will be some form of corporate governance standards, right? And also, because of these regulations, we would expect that there will be regular audits and inspections. And if all these things existed, I'm sure Sam would not have done what he did, because he would have been checked along the way. And also, there's got to be some form of investor education and awareness, because if you look recently, I'm sure you can see, if you're on social media, you see that most of our celebrities are launching their own tokens and launching their tokens, and people are getting rock pulled because there is no form, absolutely no form of regulation. So I think it is long overdue.
Yeah, no, pretty interesting. We'll see how this turns out. But I also want to talk about the potential, if you remember the Emefiele time as CBN governor, they seem to have the issues with the idea of cryptocurrency back then. What do you think are the potential long-term effects of this regulatory shift on the adoption and growth of cryptocurrency in Nigeria? And of course, how might it influence the development of the country's broader financial and maybe technological infrastructure?
All right, so the long-term effect of crypto regulation is exactly what we are seeing in the Western world today, right? One of the major things, or one of the so many things, is increased trust and legitimacy, right? Once we have the SEC providing some form of regulatory framework, we would see that, we will discover that a lot of people are going to trust the system, because when there was a ban in the Emefiele's time, a lot of people were asking questions. What's this about? What's it? A lot of people were shaky. Some people that were invested started selling because of that lack of trust. So what that regulation does in the long term is that it provides that trust and legitimacy, and also it brings about innovation and growth. It brings about innovation and growth. If you've taken your time to study the SEC document, on digital currencies and the rest of them, you discover that there is a lot of room for innovation and growth. Then also it positions us globally, it positions Nigeria globally, because we will now have the chance of getting foreign investors. If you look at what's happening right now, because there is actually no form of regulation, you discover that most companies that are investing or that run most of these exchanges, most of them are leaving Nigeria because of very stringent rules. And it would have actually been the other way around. We should have been creating policies and regulations that will bring these guys in, and we'll be able to set policies that would benefit us, right? And also is going to attract institutional investors, because that's where the main thing comes in, and infrastructure development. And to mention but a few, if you go on Telegram, you find a whole lot of Nigerians acting or working remotely for most of all these crypto exchanges. So in the long run, it's going to boost the economy, because it's also going to provide jobs when people find out that, okay, this thing is trusted and our people can go into it and make money from it legitimately, instead of having most of our young boys pursuing Yahoo and all of that. So I think in the long run, or the long-term effects of the regulation, has more positives than negatives to the Nigerian economy.
All right, Silas Umekwe, thank you very much for joining us. We will, of course, see how things turn out with these new regulations and these new moves by the Nigerian government. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.